What if getting kicked out of an Ivy League school for building a cheating tool was actually the best thing that could happen to your career? Sounds crazy, right? Well, that is the exact story of one founder who flipped a protest against big tech into a multi-million-dollar AI company. Let's get into it.
So this is Roy Lee, and that's him in his own words. He's not shying away from any of this. He's leading with it. He built a tool to cheat on coding interviews, and yep, Columbia University kicked him out. But honestly, that's just where this wild story begins.
Because right after he gets to boot from college, this is the number that pops up next. $5.3 million in a seed round. So you've got to be asking, how in the world do you go from academic disgrace to being one of the most talked about young founders in Silicon Valley? Well, it all starts with a problem he just couldn't ignore.
See, Roy didn't just wake up one morning and decide, hey, I'm going to build a cheating tool. No. This was a direct shot at what he calls a stupid industry practice that's been messing up tech hiring for like 20 years.
And the villain of the story? These things called LeetCode code questions. If you've ever tried to get a job at a place like Google or Meta, you know all about them. They're these weird, riddle-like programming puzzles. But here's the dirty secret. It's not really about how well you can problem solve. It's about how many of the answers you've memorized.
Right, so think about that. The whole hiring system isn't actually checking if you're a good engineer. It's just testing if you're good at a memory game. It has almost nothing to do with the skills you'd actually use on the job. And Roy, being a super competitive guy, he mastered this game, and then realized the whole thing was a colossal waste of time.
And this quote from him just absolutely nails how absurd it all is. You know, it's supposed to be one of those clever brain teasers, but since all the answers are already online, it just becomes a high-stakes memorization quiz for a six-figure job. So Roy decided, you know what? I'm going to break this system. And how did he do it? Oh, this is the best part. He built a tool called Interview Coder. It uses AI to solve these interview questions for you in real time, totally invisibly while you're on the call. Then he recorded himself using it to get a job offer from Amazon and just posted the video everywhere. Talk about a high-stakes launch.
But here's the thing. It almost completely failed. For 3 solid weeks, all he got was hate. Amazon was furious. Columbia was furious. Even his own co-founders were ready to quit. He had risked literally everything. And then, in week 4, the story just exploded. It went super viral. And that virality, he says, became his shield. It protected him and basically guaranteed his future.
Now, Roy's not naive. He knew all this hype had a very short shelf life. Interview Coder, in his own words, was a product designed to die. I mean, the second that companies changed their interview questions, the tool's useless, right? So he brilliantly used all that momentum to pivot to his real, much bigger vision.
And the pivot is crystal clear when you look at it this way. Interview Coder was the provocation. It was the stunt to get everyone's attention. Cluely, that's the long game. It takes the same core tech, but aims it at a way bigger problem. This is about creating a whole new way for us to use AI.
So what is Cluely? Okay, forget about chatbots you have to open in a new tab. Imagine a translucent AI layer that's just over your entire screen. It sees what you see, it hears what you're hearing, and it's always ready to help you with whatever you're doing. A meeting, coding, writing an email. It's about making AI a seamless part of everything you do.
And of course, the marketing is just as provocative. The slogan for Cluely is, cheat on everything. It's designed to make you stop and think, wait, what does that even mean? How do you cheat on a meeting? The whole point is to challenge that gut reaction we all have, that using this kind of AI help is somehow wrong.
And that really gets to the core question the company is built on. If everyone has access to a tool that gives them a massive advantage, is it really cheating anymore? Or does it just become the new baseline? It's like using a calculator in math class or a spell check when you write. Cluely's whole mission is to make this kind of advantage the new normal for everybody. So if you step back from just the tech, Roy's story actually gives us a playbook for a totally new kind of entrepreneurship, one that actually weaponizes controversy and the internet to build a company and a brand from scratch. And here's his formula, more or less. First off, he believes all press is good press. Second, your online persona is just a tool for engagement. It's not actually you. He argues that online negativity almost never has real-world consequences, and you can actually use it to funnel all that attention right back to what you're building.
He's even got a specific formula for a viral tweet. 1. Start with something controversial. 2. Add a really sharp, unexpected twist. 3. The whole thing should just be designed to make people stop scrolling and say, "What did I just read?" His rule of thumb?
If your post can't make at least half the people who see it angry, it probably won't go viral.
So after all this, what's his ultimate advice? It's pretty simple. Take bigger risks. He truly believes the gap between a normal person and someone like Mark Zuckerberg isn't intelligence or how hard they work. It's just a series of well-calculated risks. He insists the downside is almost always smaller than we think, and the upside is just so much bigger.
And the big risks he's taking are all for this massive vision. He genuinely believes this kind of AI will make job interviews obsolete, that it'll make scientists 100 times more productive, maybe even cure cancer decades earlier. It's about fundamentally accelerating the pace of human progress itself.
Which leaves all of us with this final kind of profound question. Right now, all of our thoughts are based on the information that's already stored in our brains. But what happens when the information we can access is everything? Everything humanity has ever known, fed to us in real time by an AI. The way we think, the way we interact, our very existence could fundamentally change. And that is the future that Roy Lee is racing to build.